If you don't have 3D glasses, you can just raise your hand and we'll spot you and get you a pair. If you have a small child whose feet do not touch the floor, put them towards the center of the aisle, away from the side gates for their safety. And those side gates on your left-hand side are going to be closing, so if you're sitting on the end, watch your hands, arms, and legs. These gates are coming down. Who's never been on the tour before? Raise your hand if you've never been on the tour. Oh, got some newbies on board. Awesome, welcome. And then raise your hand if you have been on the tour before. If you've been on, all right, get out, you've already seen it. I want all new people. I'm kidding. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. They're actually filming under Backlot. People will ask me all the time, it's a real studio. What do you do when they're filming? Well, you're going to find out. We're going to drive past an area where they're filming a major motion picture, and it's what we call a quiet zone. So this goes up on your monitor. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. This is just for me and my microphone, so I will not be talking. The last thing they want to hear me say is, on your left-hand side. So that will happen for a small portion during our tour, and I'll give you guys a heads up when we're going to go past the area. And like I said, we always try to get you as close as possible to where they're filming, so we'll see what happens. Right now, let's bring up my co-host. He's the host of The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. He's an alumni from Saturday Night Live, the one, the only Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide,
David.
And the greatest driver,
Jeremy.
You're the best. I love that. Even though
Jeremy
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Time for some safety rules, everybody. Right above your heads, you'll see an emergency cord, a little red cord that runs right there. That's the E cord. You're going to pull that for medical emergencies. If you drop something of value off the side of the tram, if there's an audio problem or visual problem, if you have to use the restroom and you just can't wait, guys, don't worry. Pull that cord. Jeremy will stop the tram, and I'll help you out when it is safe to do so. We do ask that you remain seated at all times, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle. No smoking on the tour, but eat and drink all you want. No selfie sticks, but take as many photos as you want. Just hold on to those cameras. Lastly, watch out for some loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and on this tour, yes, you will get wet. But you're only going to get wet if you're in a blue seat. Do we have any birthdays? Anybody celebrating a birthday on today's... Oh, back there in car 2. Happy birthday. I see a lot of hands up. Thanks for coming out and celebrating over here. People always point at the birthday person. Great. Anybody from out of town in car 1? Do we have any out of towners? Where are you guys from? New Zealand. Nice. I love New Zealand. It's beautiful there. I've never been there. That's Peter Jackson. That's where he films all his movies. Director. Someone had the hand up back there. Where are you from? Colorado. Nice. Some people back there waving. Are you guys from Colorado back there? You got some of your friends. You put the rat in Colorado. You can use that. Sweet. I like asking where everybody's from. You know what? It doesn't matter where you're from. You guys all know the same movies. Movies connect the world. You might even say that. Movies. Painted out front of stage 12, it says The Voice. Do you guys know what TV show films on stage 12? I'll give you a hint. It's The Voice on NBC, and it is back. They're doing their blind auditions right now, so it's pretty exciting. Now, what's great about stage 12 is it's been here for a long time. How long? Well, back in the 1930s, classic horror movies like Frankenstein and Dracula were filmed in there.
I am Dracula.
And then in the 1980s, one of my favorite comedies filmed at stage 12. Do you guys know this one?
Say hello to my little friend.
Scarface. It's hilarious. Hey kids, when you get home, tell your parents to put on Scarface for you. It's rated G for gangster. Back to the Future was also filmed in there, the greatest movie ever made, and Jurassic Park, an exciting time, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom in theaters right now, breaking all sorts of box office records, so if you're a fan of that series, definitely check that out. Now as you drive through, way on your left-hand side, you're going to see sound stages 18, 19, and 20. That's for the TV show Colony on the USA Network. Those are the scenes. And then stage 17 is next to it, right over there. That's where Superstore films. You can see that soundstage door is kind of open there. Notice how tall these sound stages are? The sets are held up with ropes. It's a pulley system, so they're able to lift walls straight into the air if they have to move them out of the way. Right here in front of you, you're going to see some white tents with a bunch of chairs inside. This is Audience Holding for Family Feud, hosted by Steve Harvey. They film in stage 29 coming up to your right. So what they'll do is they'll get the audience inside there, a bunch of people, get them all excited. Once the soundstage on your right is ready for filming, they'll walk them across the street into the soundstage. They'll start rolling. In the meantime, they get a bunch of new people in those tents, and then they're going to rotate the audience members because they're going to film about 5 episodes in one day.
Very bumpy.
These white trailers on your right, you'll see one that says Star Wagons. That's the personal trailer for Steve Harvey. On your left, stage 21 is also home to Superstore. And here's a clip. This was filmed inside stage 21.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
So you will see there's a lot of Hollywood history going on here. That's because we've been making movies for a long time. Our founder, Carl Lemley, is on your monitor. He started our studio in Chicago, 1912. In 1915, that's when these doors were opened here in Hollywood. Do you know how much it cost to get into Universal Studios in 1915? $1/4. That's right, for about $2, you can get the entire family into Universal. Of course, some things have changed, but some things have not. One thing that hasn't changed is Carl Lemley's dream to show people how great movies are made, take you behind the scenes. Take a look on your right, you'll see some of the minions hanging out right over there. You can say hi to those minions. They won't say hi back because they're not real. Just a little bit of behind the scenes there. Now these sound stages to our right, this is Sitcom Alley, where a lot of classic sitcoms have been filmed, like Coach, The Jeffersons, Silver Spoons. Stage 44 on your right is home to writers, producers, and directors. They used to be dressing rooms. They have a living room, kitchen, and a bathroom. They were dressing rooms for big stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Lucille Ball. Alfred Hitchcock, bungalow 5195 to your left. That was his office here back in the 1950s and 60s. Then you'll see on your left how we can build sound stages and attach offices right up front to make production move a lot faster. On your left, this is where Will and Grace films on NBC. Not only do they film the show in the sound stages, but up front in the second floor, that's the writer's room for the show. Ooh, looks like we're gonna go into the backlot. This is where all the big stuff films. I'll show you something really cool. See that big, beautiful cityscape on your left? I'll let you in on a Hollywood secret. That's not real. That's fake. All the buildings coming up on your left-hand side are not real buildings. They are what we call facades. They're shell structures of buildings. Take a look at this red brick on your left. That's not real. That's fake. That's fiberglass. See that tram full of people? That's not real. They are robots. You can wave at them, and they're programmed to not wave back. Wow. So guys, looks like I'm looking at the route. I think we're going to be looping around. We're going to go inside the Metropolitan sets, the biggest and busiest sets in all of Hollywood. So this is exciting. First thing we're going to see is everything here is of use, by the way. It serves two purposes. This big metal backdrop on your left is a painted mural on one side. On this side, it's corrugated metal. It's a sound barrier. So that blocks a lot of the sound from the theme park. That makes our Metropolitan sets very quiet for the filmmakers. And then right here in front of you on your left, that's a maze for Halloween Horror Nights. That's right. That's how you know it's awesome, guys. It's June and we're building the maze for Halloween. I'd say that's pretty amazing. Okay. So first thing we're going to see, straight ahead, there's another maze as well for Halloween Horror Nights. And as we turn here, we're going to hit up London Square. You'll see our parliamentary sets. So those of you from these are all picture cars for the production that is filming out here, which I'm not allowed to mention, by the way. A lot of this stuff is top secret. On your left, that big orange building is a church, so they can film like a wedding scene or a funeral, which is kind of the same thing, right, fellas? We're driving you guys right down New York Street. If you look straight ahead, see that turquoise and pink building? That's where Hairspray Live was filmed, and that's also where Back to the Future was filmed. Straight ahead over there, to your right. That's right, Courthouse Square. Now I'm going to show you the stairs from Bruce Almighty. This clip on your monitor. This is white truck here onto your right-hand side. But if you look down that street, you're going to see these stairs on your monitor with Jim Carrey running down there. Buffalo, New York. You see this glass building on your right? That's actually plexiglass. And the inside of that building and most of these buildings is plywood and 2x4s. You can see a picture on your monitor of what the interiors of these buildings look like. Some of these buildings are practical sets, so they are able to film small interiors. Captain America, the First Avenger, turned this area into the 1940s. On your left, Spider-Man 2 was filmed in front of the Lyric Theater with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. American Ninja Warrior films their LA qualifiers right out here. Now, I always mention a lot of blockbuster movies, guys, but even small independent movies are filmed here. Have you guys ever heard of a low-budget independent movie called Transformers? A couple people that starred Megan Fox and some other people. They shot several scenes right out here on our New York street. This area was San Francisco and Dirty Harry. It was London and Austin Powers, but we do call it New York Street.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
Yep, it's all fake in Hollywood. That's a fiberglass car. You can see these sets stand 50 feet tall. They're pretty massive. Well, hold on, guys. We have a problem. See this crushed Universal tram on your right? There's only one thing large enough to crush a tram this size. My ego. King Kong, everybody. This is where King Kong lives. We're about to enter Skull Island, and we need to protect ourselves from King Kong. Do you guys know what can protect you from King Kong? It's only one thing. Those 3D glasses. That's all you need. So get those ready to go. And to prepare us, here is the director of King Kong, Peter Jackson, who's from New Zealand. That's right.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. Action! I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times.
I want to remind you guys to remain seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle.
Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
The door just closed. Oh, it's a screen. For the camera. That's not 3D anymore. I took them back. This feels so real. Oh god. I got wet. I got wet. More water. More water.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360, 3D. Ladies and gentlemen, we just survived King Kong. Let's give that a little round of applause. What do you guys say? That's one of the world's largest 3D experiences on the planet, and it was all put together by me. I expected a little bit more applause for that. It's embarrassing. Of course, Peter Jackson and his incredible team at Weta Digital brought that to life. Those are their work in film. Most recently, they worked on, of course, Avengers, the latest one. And it's not the first time you've seen the tram be pulled into the big screen as it was at King Kong 360 3D. The tram is quite famous. Here it is, and several cameos. Big Fat Liar. The Nude Bomb. One of my favorite TV shows as a kid was The A-Team. I used to love The A-Team. I used to act like I was on the A-Team with all of my friends. Yeah, by friends I mean my mom. There's The Wizard with Fred Savage. The Muse with Albert Brooks. An episode of CSI takes place on our backlot. And this next clip reminds me of my first day as a tour guide.
Sit down and have fun! Just sit down and have fun, damn it!
There was a lot of paperwork that day.
Look out!
Hey, Grandma. Whoops. One more time.
Look out!
Hey, Grandma. Whoops. One more time.
Look out!
Hey, Grandma. Whoops. She's okay. That's called rear projection. No grandmas were harmed during the filming of that. Parents used to drive when they were your age. Yeah, the Flintstones. Universal's largest film franchise to date is, of course, Fast and the Furious. We got a Jeep from Jurassic World. You're going to see the vehicle that I wish I had in LA traffic. It's a tank from Transformers. By the way, guys, I'll show you a cameo from Jurassic World that you might have missed. The pterodactyls are attacking. This guy's running away. He's a famous musician, a restaurateur, and he's holding on to 2 margaritas. That's Jimmy Buffett. And when he runs away, he takes a drink of his margarita. He's a professional. In the background, you'll see Margaritaville, his restaurant, which, by the way, if you're a fan of Jimmy Buffett or margaritas, I'm a big fan of both, one way more than the other. We do have a Margaritaville here on the City Walk that you could go to, but only if you can survive.
Welcome to Jurassic
We're going to Jurassic Park. We're going to show you some props that were used in the Lost World. You'll see the mobile lab that was shoved over the cliff by an angry dinosaur in this clip here. I love this scene because it's a cliffhanger. The mobile lab will be coming up on your left-hand side in just a moment. By the way, guys, right after this, we're going to be going into a quiet zone, so I'm going to be going off mic for a moment, but I will be back in just a few. So we'll make our way through Jurassic Park, then we'll see our old Mexico sets and our old West sets, which I'll play clips while I'm off mic. Yeah.
เราหลังจ้ะ
Stereo Lane, which was home to Desperate Housewives for 8 seasons on ABC.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's move back.
Now, as you drive through Wisteria Lane, you'll notice that the inside of these houses look like real houses, that they are able to film interiors as well as exteriors. Like the pink house at the end, and you're right, that is a practical set. But some of these houses are just facades, merely shell structures of houses where they can only use them for exteriors. The gray house coming up on your right-hand side is a perfect example. It's got a little tree house out front. Looks fantastic. When you drive by it, if you look through the first window, you'll see history here on our back lot. The greenhouse on your left-hand side, I believe it's a beaver. The lilac colored house on your right, home to the Munsters, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. In 1951, one of our presidents, Ronald Reagan, before he was president, he was an actor. And he made a movie here called Bedtime for Bonzo. And if you were like me when you were a kid, you loved the TV show Matlock. By like me, I mean you were lonely. Yeah, Ben Matlock lived in the greenhouse there on your left-hand side. Played by Andy Griffith. And then coming up on your left, you're going to see the Dodge Charger from Fast and the Furious. And look who's hanging out in front. It's The Rock. By the way, before Wisteria Lane was Wisteria Lane, it was known as Colonial Street, and it's where The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks, was filmed. Casper with Christina Ricci. A music video with Nelly and Kelly Rowland. The song's Dilemma. It's the perfect suburban neighborhood, but what happens if you're making a movie and you need a neighborhood a little bit more holiday classic? I love this movie. I watch it every year.
We're going to
Christmas is
Whoville.
my favorite holiday. I love it so much my lights are still up. Now these sets are built out of styrofoam. So when they were done filming, they used 2 million linear feet of styrofoam to bring Whoville to life. They also used enough fake snow to cover 9 football fields. That's crazy. That's insane. Some people would probably call that psycho. The Bates Motel and Mother's House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic Psycho.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hold on. You guys see that? What's going on out there? Is that Norman Bates? That's weird. Huh. What's he doing to that car? Car's got a flat. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I know it's going inside cabin 1. Oh great, he's committed murder again. Maybe he won't notice 170 people watching him in broad daylight while I talk loudly on a microphone. Keep it down, everybody. Don't disturb him. We don't want to... Oh no, he spotted us. I don't know why some of you find this funny. Wow, that says more about you than it does the situation. Oh no, he's got a knife. Step on it, Jeremy. We gotta get out of here. Don't worry, we're safe, car 1. Car 4, you're on your own. Look out! Can you believe it? We narrowly escaped at 3 miles an hour. He's still watching you. But you know who he's watching? He's watching Mother. She's up here on the 2nd floor. Yeah, you can see her. The most colossal set on our backlot, the plane crash scene from War of the Worlds, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. We're going to bring you into the heart of this colossal set. Jeremy will bring the tram to a stop, allowing you to get a great photo. While you snap that photo, here's the director, Steven Spielberg, and the production designer, Rick Carter.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen now. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
So they purchased a real plane at an old plane wreck yard. That's not a prop there, that's an actual plane. Old retired plane wreck yard. Then they drove it here in 4 large pieces, piece by piece. Well, let's relax a little bit, guys. By the way, we are about 10 minutes from the end of our tour. As a friendly reminder, you can use that E cord right there if you need any guest assistance, but remain seated at all times during the tour. On your right-hand side is the cabin from The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. You can also see that cabin in the movie Shooter, starring Mark Wahlberg. I'll give you guys a little spoiler. In the movie Shooter, that cabin explodes. It's not a big spoiler. just happens at the end of the movie. All the main characters are inside, and it's why there's no sequel. It's a big spoiler. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because the way they made the cabin explode was by simply building a miniaturized version of that cabin. And then they filmed that against a big blue screen, computer effects, all the magic. Speaking of blue screens, take a look on your right. That big blue backdrop, that's Falls Lake. That's where ocean scenes are filmed. If you saw the Hunger Games Catching Fire with Jennifer Lawrence, you've seen that backdrop. They used it for those action scenes when she was fighting around the cornucopia with all of that water. Also, the movie Dunkirk, directed by Christopher Nolan, shot several scenes out here. And I'll show you a perfect example from the movie Sully with Tom Hanks.
Evacuate.
Based on a true story. This, of course, was filmed here. Well, it's really cool how they did that. They were able to combine practical effects on camera with computer effects. The practical effects on camera, of course, the water, the plane, all those actors, and the background is computer generated. So why film that here? Why not film on location where the movie takes place on the Hudson River? Safety, of course, was the concern. It would be very dangerous to try to film that on the Hudson River with all those actors. Even though those actors aren't real actors, they're called extras and nobody cares about them. But of course, safety is very important. It's why the backdrop was built. It was built back in 1987 for Jaws: The Revenge. Let's take a look at that. So Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, the original, learned his lesson while filming that movie. It's very difficult to film on the ocean. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. So for Jaws: The Revenge, they filmed most of the movie on location in the Bahamas. Then they came out here to film all of these close-ups with the big actors to make it safer and, of course, to control the environment a little better. But they ran into a problem. The water out here is not blue enough as the water in the Bahamas. So they added a bunch of blue dye to the water, and it looked great. They yelled, "Action!" Michael Caine jumped in the water. He swam across, climbed onto the boat, and they realized his hair, shirt, and skin were completely blue from the dye. He looked like a naked Smurf. So they washed him off, gave him a new shirt, continued the scene when he climbs onto the boat, and looks fine. But when you watch the movie, look for that part in Jaws: The Revenge. Michael Caine swimming in the water, and as he climbs up onto the boat, he's completely dry. Jurassic Park 3, Hulk. A lot of actors have filmed several movies here. Tom Hanks, Apollo 13, and of course Sully. Jim Carrey filmed The Truman Show out here, as well as Bruce Almighty. There's George Clooney, and the star of this movie was that cow. Now, that cow was not real. That cow's computer-generated imagery, so we made sure no cows were harmed during the filming of that scene, although after that scene, we had the juiciest T-bone steaks you could imagine. But you can see that CGI is responsible for some incredible effects. Now, what CGI also does is it makes stunts a lot safer in a lot of these films that we watch. Speaking of stunts and action scenes, you know what I love? I love the documentary series Fast and the Furious. Those are the best. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but that's all based on real stuff. That's not a truck repair shop. This right here is a super secret government underground hideout where they build all the vehicles for Fast and the Furious in between the documentary films that come out. And we're going to go inside. We have access. And I can't even tell you what's going to happen. Here's from the government, FBI agent, Novak.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. Huh? What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boys. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in. Just whenever you feel like it.
Mute him.
Don't you... Hey, you! They just got here. All right, I got it. Well, listen, hello, beautiful people, particularly you right there missing the third row. How you doing? You good? My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over.
They closed the door.
It's all good.
They closed the door in the back.
Especially you right there in that third row, like I was saying. Call you good. So look, see over there? That's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. But that work of art back over there was made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels. Extra fly.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one. All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones.
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
Yeah, ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in another second.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put on your 3D glasses. Remain seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you won't get fried!
This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime.
Don't think you're getting away!
Drone's lining up the missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got it. Roman, don't shoot. That's with the bridge. Under subtraction. Everybody hold on. Hit the nitrous.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fast and Furious Supercharged. Over
job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know what's crazy out there?
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They said the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You gotta be good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we survived Fast and Furious, and we survived the entire tour because of our driver, Jeremy. Let's give him a big round of applause. And I want to applaud you guys because you've been my favorite tour of the day. Congratulations. You're also my first tour of the day. Universal Studios Hollywood, entertaining audiences over 100 years. We want to thank you guys for spending to choose your day with us. On your right hand side, a beautiful view of the San Fernando Valley. I'll let you guys in on a Hollywood secret. The view you're looking at is not real. That is a painted backdrop. And as we get ready to unload, keep in mind we close tonight at 10 p.m. So kids, don't let your parents take you home any 1 minute before 10 p.m. Make them stay all the way to the end. It's a theme park. Around 9:30, demand a churro and ice cream. What else we got going on? The Water World show. If I can recommend a show if you guys have not seen it yet, the Water World show is fantastic. It's one of those live stunt shows with a lot of explosions. It's a lot of fun. And I would also download a personal tip. Download the Universal Studios Hollywood app onto your phone. It will have all of the wait times and show times in the palm of your hand. You know, we have that studio directory. You don't have to be one of those people that's staring up at the studio directory all lost. Instead, you can be that person that's staring at your phone all lost. Kids, you can also use our free Wi-Fi and then explain to your parents what Wi-Fi is. They're going to open the gates for you. Make sure you have all your personal belongings. Drop your 30 glasses off in those bins and have a great day. Universal Studios Entertainment Capital of LA. Bye, everybody.